9, we have the latest on shots fired at a village pantry, which led police to take a suspect into custody at the Haven apartment last night.
Repurposed plans have been released for the Muncie YMCA, what the downtown facility will transform into in just 3 years.
And Donald Trump's call for presidential immunity fell short in court, what this means for his team.
Plus, remembering a country music legend and more on the passing of Toby Keith.
Spring-like temperatures ahead. I'll have the full details coming up.
Local news about local people, live from Ball State Unified Media. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Luke Barnes.
And I'm Sawyer Osman.
We begin tonight with an update on the largest police presence outside the Haven apartment complex last night. According to a press release from the city of Muncie, one male suspect was tracked to the complex after shooting a clerk at the village pantry on Morrison Road. At approximately 8:51 p.m., the suspect fired shots into the store, then shot the clerk inside. Per the release, officers from surrounding towns, quote, immediately flooded the area and tracked the suspect back to the Haven. After a warrant was obtained, the Muncie SWAT team began searching the apartment and found the suspect, Joel Russell, armed and hiding. He was then taken into custody. According to the release, the clerk is currently being treated at a nearby hospital, and their injuries seem to be non-life-threatening. This incident is still under investigation.
The city also announced renovation plans for the downtown YMCA this morning. According to a press release, the building will be converted into market-rate apartments. The Y was purchased by True Development Solutions after the City of Muncie Redevelopment Commission purchased the building in 2022. The current plan includes adding 2 stories on top of the property with an area for retail on the first floor and a restaurant with rooftop access on the top floor. Construction is set to begin in 2025 and be completed by 2027.
A federal appeals court has ruled Donald Trump is not immune from prosecution for alleged crimes he committed to reverse the 2020 election results. This is a major blow to the former president's key defense in the federal election subversion case brought by special counsel Jack Smith. Trump has pleaded not guilty to 4 counts, including conspiring to defraud the United States and to obstruct an official proceeding. Trump has argued he has presidential immunity and his conduct to overturn the election fell within his official duties. The ruling can be appealed directly to the Supreme Court. Trump's team can also ask for an en banc review, meaning the case would be heard again by the full D.C. court.
The mother of the teenager who killed 4 students at a Michigan high school in 2021 was found guilty on 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter today. It is a groundbreaking decision that could reshape how the law determines who is responsible for a mass shooting. Michael Yashinda has the story.
Find defendant guilty.
A Michigan jury finding Jennifer Crumbley guilty of involuntary manslaughter for her role in the deaths of 4 students killed by her son Ethan at a high school in 2021.
It was a long time coming, but it's definitely a step toward accountability.
Prosecutors argued Jennifer Crumbley is responsible for the deaths because she was grossly negligent in giving a gun to her son, who was only 15 at the time, and said she failed to act after a school counselor recommended she and her husband take Ethan home from school on the day of the shooting to get immediate mental health treatment.
She had a legal duty. She negligently performed that legal duty. She negligently did not take steps to take care and protect the other children in that school.
Her defense attorney said the blame for the shooting should fall on other people, including Crumbley's husband, for not properly securing the firearm, the school for failing to alert her about her son's behavioral issues, and Ethan himself, who pulled the trigger and was sentenced last year to life in prison without parole.
I am asking that you find Jennifer Crumbley not guilty, not just for Jennifer Crumbley, but for every mother who's out there doing the best they can, who could easily be in her shoes.
The jury deliberated for more than 10 hours before reaching the historic verdict.
This is trailblazer of a case, and it could have repercussions in the criminal law across the country.
You cannot choose to not take care of your child. You cannot choose to not nurture your child.
I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Sentencing is scheduled for April 9th. Her husband is scheduled to go on trial on the same charges in early March.
The sentencing date of Jonathan Majors in his assault and harassment case has been postponed to April 8th. Majors was initially scheduled to be sentenced this morning. The postponement came after Major's attorneys filed a motion to set aside the verdict. Prosecutors have until March 5th to respond to the motion. The actor was convicted in December of third-degree reckless assault and a non-criminal charge of harassment as a violation. He was acquitted on another assault charge and one count of aggravated harassment.
The death of country singer Toby Keith was announced today. Keith died at the age of 62 after a battle with stomach cancer. According to a statement on his website, Keith passed peacefully on Monday night, surrounded by his family. He was diagnosed with cancer in 2022, but still performed at the People's Choice Country Awards last year, where he received the Country Icon Award, and Keith released his debut album in 1993. He is known for hits like Red Solo Cup and I Want to Talk About Me.
Yeah, guys, a classic February pattern currently setting up across the region here. Looking at our current temperatures right now, 34 here in Muncie, 34 once again in Indianapolis, 36 in Lafayette. It just feels like February outside today. Really going to stay that way, but the three things we're watching here tonight, a lot more clear skies as we head further into the week here. A lot warmer temperatures, 10 to 20 degrees above average, in fact, as we head into Thursday and Friday. And rain chances come back into the picture as we head into the weekend. I'll have all this and more coming up in my full forecast later in the show.
Find out where students can learn starting this year.
Plus, Honda and Acura drivers. We have information on an important recall you should know next.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Man, it's lonely. Like, going through life's lonely.
There is the therapeutic aspect of music, just expressing how you feel. I'm going to talk to Howie about his feelings, make it into a song.
From a classroom to a country, Ball State has a new study abroad opportunity for students who like to have that home away from home feeling. NewsLink Indiana's Emma Matlock reports.
Boeing has to rework about 50 planes after a new problem was found during the production of 737 MAX jets. In a memo to employees, it was revealed a supplier had misdrilled holes in the fuselages. The 737 MAX factory in Renton, Washington will spend several days working on a fix. Boeing says this is not an immediate flight safety plan or issue, and all 737s can continue operating safely, but it could delay the delivery of MAX planes to airlines. This is the latest setback for Boeing, which includes a terrifying accident mid-flight when part of an Alaska Airlines plane blew off.
More than 750,000 Hondas and Acuras are being recalled due to airbag-related problems. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the front passenger seat weight sensor on these vehicles can short circuit and deploy an airbag unintentionally. The recall affects 16 Honda and Acura models from 2020 to 2022, including Pilots, Accords, Passports, and CRVs. Honda says there haven't been any of the reports of deaths or injuries related to this malfunction.
Rizzo Lopez Foods is recalling dozens of dairy products after a multi-state listeria breakout. The outbreak has led to 23 hospitalizations and 2 deaths dating back nearly a decade. An investigation identified the dairy products as the source of the outbreak that has affected people in 11 states. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said it did not have enough data until now to identify the source. The recalled products were distributed nationwide and include cheese, yogurt, and sour cream sold under various name brands. They include Rio Grande, Food City, and more. Consumers should check their refrigerators and freezers for the products and dispose of them immediately.
Rain chances increase as we get closer to the weekend. I'll have the full timeline on when we're going to see that rain coming up in my full forecast after the break.
As a dad, every day is a challenge. To make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them. It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to try and to teach them. When they learn something new and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
Oh man, I can't believe I'm missing this. Okay, Grandma. I see you.
Don't get stuck at home with the flu. A flu shot is the best way to prevent the flu and its potentially serious complications. It keeps you, your community, and loved ones protected. Don't get flu FOMO. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up? Hand me that board. Nothing wrong with getting help. I'm good. I did it when Felicia left. I'll figure it out. I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying. If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence? Now you need my help. It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that? Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Welcome back. Record-breaking storms ravaging California since the weekend will start moving east in the hours ahead. And that's where we find Mike Valerio with the very latest after the city's mayor declared a state of emergency.
This is Los Angeles on Tuesday. Raging rivers swollen by flooding. Around 30 million people are under threat of flooding in Southern California, Arizona, and Nevada. It's February 6th, and 75% of the rain LA usually gets in a year has already fallen. Now the ground is oversaturated and giving way. LA fire officials report more than 300 mudslides so far. Some motorists recording huge mounds of debris flowing on major highways. Other roads are submerged, like here in the San Fernando Valley, where one man waved down rescuers from the top of his car. And harrowing moments for a man who jumped into the fast-moving Los Angeles River to save his dog on Monday. First responders used a helicopter to lower down a rescuer. Fire officials say both man and dog were pulled out safely and are doing okay. The storm system also brought snow and strong winds to the Sierra Nevada mountains, causing chaos for many travelers and property owners.
This is our sack feed barn, which actually flipped from the wind over our fence and took out the business's boats next to us.
Officials in Butte County, north of Sacramento, have issued an emergency proclamation to bring in more resources as they and most of the state face a long cleanup ahead. In Los Angeles, I'm Mike Valerio.
Yeah, Yeah, truly tragic stuff happening out there in Los Angeles. Thankfully, we have a much calmer weather picture across the region tonight here. As we look at current temperatures across east central Indiana, 31 here in Portland, 34 in Muncie, really hovering around that freezing mark here. Typical February night across the region. Today's high, pretty cold out there, pretty average for February, but looking here at today's almanac, you see today's high 43, actually 5 degrees above the average high for this February 6th here. So while it may have felt cold, it's actually above average for this first week here. You know, obviously we're nowhere near our record high of 59 set back in 2017, but I wouldn't rule out seeing those 50s once or twice before the end of the week here. But tonight here, partly cloudy, those lows going to be right around that freezing mark. Wouldn't be shocked to see some patchy fog, especially as you head further north in the state tonight. Not going to be too much of an issue, but something to watch out for in those low-lying areas here, especially if you're taking out those kids early. But tomorrow, going to be a beautiful day here, still around that freezing mark as you're headed out to the bus stop. By the time we get to noon, though, 45 degrees, warming up very quickly. Even 5 o'clock as you're headed home on that drive tomorrow, going to be in the low 50s, so going to be much warmer, especially compared to what we've seen. But we've got another weather maker moving into the region here as we see Wednesday still covered with clouds. Thursday mostly dry, but by the time we get to Thursday evening into the overnight hours, we see this cold front moving through the region here. Muncie, Cincinnati, Chicago, all expecting rain and showers Thursday night into Friday morning. By the time we get to Friday afternoon, though, things look to clear out, maybe even have some clear skies and some sunshine in there, warm us up. Sadly, though, this doesn't last as we see showers and clouds move back into the region by Saturday morning. So overall, a very wet and especially windy pattern here. If we take a look at wind gusts across the region Thursday evening, we see as that front is moving across, most of our region experiencing wind gusts up to 25, 30 miles an hour. So especially want to watch out for anything outside if you don't have anything secured. Tonight's the night to really tie that stuff down. Don't want the kids' toys flying off, of course. Even though we see more stuff, or more wind gusts, moving through Friday afternoon after the front has moved through. So really going to be a blustery day Friday and especially Thursday night. So something to watch out for if you're going anywhere. Now, you might have heard it's pretty warm out there, especially compared to February. But if we look long range here, we see Indiana in the next 6 to 10 days about normal for where we would expect to be here in the month of February. A bit warmer in the upper Great Lakes and a bit cooler here in the Four Corners region. But overall, going to be pretty warm for the next couple days here. Looking at our raw 7-day forecast, 51 here on Wednesday, 54 on Thursday. In fact, all the way up to 57 on Friday. Wouldn't even be surprised to see some 60-degree highs, especially in our southern counties on Friday. But the spring-like temps have to end at some point, and with that cold front moving through on Friday afternoon, temperatures drop. Saturday only 50, Sunday down to 46. Monday and Tuesday still cloudy, but the rain chances move back into the region here. So probably be a good idea to enjoy those summer-like temps while we're still at it, because they're not going to last for long.
I agree with you. I think if we can get some warm barbecue weather for Super Bowl weekend,
that's what I'm saying, man. It'll be a lovely weekend. We can have some barbecue weather. So.
Absolutely.
One Ball State squad looks to keep the streak alive, while the other is about to start a season of their own. All this and more next in sports.
There's something about having that piece of paper. Some people think that's worth more than my skills.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
You just gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Analytics and empathy. That's how I've gained clients.
I am more.
I'm more
than who I am on paper.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up, and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
At night, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed.
But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal weather, bringing you up to speed on the day's top stories.
and giving you up-to-the-minute conditions from the Ball State Weather Center.
And of course, lots of fun.
I gave mine personality. Look, it's got eyebrows.
Ooh, my lucky glove didn't even work.
But I also am excited for those fall temperatures.
Start your Friday mornings with Cardinal Weather, live on the Cardinal Weather Facebook page.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I am Max Robson with sports. Ball State women's basketball hold their best record at 20-2 overall and look to make that 21-2. The Ball State women's basketball team have been looking like a well-oiled machine this year, setting a stage for a potential historic season. This Ball State women's basketball team has been on a tear this season, winning 14 games in a row, which is the longest streak in program history. And for the first time in school history, the Cards are 10-0 in conference play. While most teams may rest on their laurels after such eminent success, head coach Brady Salley has got the team's sights set on more important things.
We've got all of our goals ahead of us. That's the exciting part. You know, none of us ever sat down and get in gear and said, hey, let's go win this amount of games, or let's go. That was never any of our goals. Our goal is we're winning championships and playing the NCAA tournament. All that's ahead of us. We know we've got to get better in order to do it, and that's where their motivation lies.
The Cardinals will take on Northern Illinois on the road, looking to extend their winning streak to 15 games tomorrow at 7. Lifelong Learners head Jeff Mitchell present his behind-the-curtain look at the new athletics landscape. NewsLink Indiana's Kamara Munn reports.
Today at the Alumni Center, Athletics Director Jeff Mitchell gave a presentation about the new changes happening in athletics. He covered the challenges of transfer portals and name, image, and likeness.
Sometimes how they receive that money may not necessarily be in conjunction with a true business transaction between the student athlete and a business.
In addition to NIL and transfer portals, Mitchell discussed the graduation rates of athletes at Ball State.
So the graduation success rate for Ball State athletics is over 90%, and it's the highest it's been since the NCAA began tracking graduation success rates.
Athletics isn't the only thing going through change. According to Mitchell, the athletics department is working on building a new championship performance center.
And we're going to build a state-of-the-art weight room. It's going to be greater than 10,000 square feet of space that is really going to be dedicated to development of our student athletes' power and speed training.
In Muncie, Kamara Munn, NewsLink Indiana.
To swing over to the fields, Ball State men's baseball season is close to being underway. Last season, the Cards finished with a 36-23 overall record, as well as a MAC championship victory. Led by returning junior catcher Hunter Dobbins and grad student pitcher Tanner Knapp, Ball State is aiming to not just return back to the NCAA regional, but go further. It's just 9 days until the first pitch of the season. The Cards will start versus Lehigh February 16th at 1 p.m. in Charleston. So Ball State women's basketball, 14-game win streak right now, 20-2, best start they've ever had in in their history. I'm really excited to look at them keep going.
100%.
They've got a lot of chemistry. They've got some older players on the roster. I hope we're dancing in March.
Oh, we better be dancing in March. That's my main goal right now.
Yes, these ladies are putting the ball in Ball State, let me just say.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, thank you
Max.
so much, Max.
Coming up, looking to break up how one fast food chain can do it for you.
Plus, one final look at our weather forecast.
Attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are on the rise.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer. In terms of the hate crimes, I think there is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. From a classroom to a new country, Ball State has a new study abroad opportunity for students who would like to have that home away from home feeling. NewsLink Indiana's Emma Matlock reports.
According to the Department of Modern Languages and Classics, Ball State offers more than 200 foreign exchange and study abroad programs. And this year, they're adding one more to that list.
I think study abroad gets this reputation for being really costly, you know, with a whole bunch of electives and things like that. But BSUN is not that, right? Instead, it is an affordable, accessible program that is going to be really immersive in nature.
According to Coker, the first BSUN experience will be in Puebla, Mexico, in the city of Cholula.
But BSUN truly is a Ball State semester abroad. So by that I mean it's Ball State professors, Ball State classes, and Ball State students. Could be a bigger cohort of 30 to 50 students, all going to the same location abroad.
The program is first come, first serve, and meant to be non-selective as long as students are in good academic standing.
I love BSUN so much. It's one of those programs where it, instead of being like a entirely feeling foreign and abroad experience, it's like a sort of home away from home.
Unlike other study abroad programs Ball State offers, BSUN is tailored to be as affordable as a Ball State semester.
So it's genuinely one of the coolest ways to learn things that you never thought you'd understand just by being somewhere else and talking to people from other cultures, at least with the study abroad aspect of immersive learning.
It's immersive learning that students are calling both affordable and eye-opening. In Muncie, Emma Matlock, NewsLink, Indiana.
For more information on the program, students can visit bsu.edu/studyabroad. Before we go, Pizza Hut is serving up a sweet yet spicy way to end your relationship before Valentine's Day. Through February 14th, Heartbreakers can send free hot and honey goodbye pies to their soon-to-be ex. The limited edition pizza comes in a custom box with a broken pizza heart and a spot to write their name. How sweet. The deal is only available at locations in New York City, Chicago, and Miami. But you're not out of luck if you live elsewhere. You can ask Pizza Hut to send a breakup text to your future ex with a gift card for a goodbye pie. Log on to goodbyepies.com for a chance to snag one.
Luckily, this weather certainly won't be as much of a heartbreaker as that last story here. 50s, upper 50s, especially as we head into this upcoming weekend here. Going to be a beautiful day to get out and enjoy things. 54 on Thursday, 57 on Friday. May even see 60 degrees, which is insane for February. 20 degrees above average, but sadly that rain is going to come in, especially overnight Thursday into Friday. Saturday remains sunny, but much cooler compared to what we see next week. Sunday here only down to the mid 40s, 46. Meanwhile, Monday, 47, as we see clouds and rain really return to the forecast. Well, you know, it's going to be a lovely 3 or 4 day stretch here, but overall, just going to be kind of a gloomy return to sender as we see Monday and Tuesday. So,
as long as there's not any snow, then I say that's a win for us, really. So.
Absolutely. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Stay up to date with our show schedule on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime and anywhere, just go to ballstatedaily.com and have a great night.